Hi, Paige. How are you today?
Okay. I'm a little stressed out.
Okay. All right. Well, today in our supervision, I do want to follow up on a couple things that we discussed last time. Want to check in and see how the new employee is working with the training that you're providing. I also want to talk to you about the transfer of the client that we had discussed last time and how everything is going there. Is there anything that you would like to add to today, or?
Those are the two things I'm actually really focused on right now. So, I definitely wanted to talk about those. So.
Okay. Is that kind of what's causing a little bit of stress and tension that I'm feeling here? Okay. All right. Well, let's start with whatever one you're most concerned about. Maybe your trainee.
Both. Yeah, I guess we'll start with the trainee just because that's happening every day. It seems like.
Sure.
So we, I started with her like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to be training her and like sharing what I know with her, and she won't listen to me at all. She does the complete opposite of whatever I say, or give her, if she asks for my advice, I'll give her my professional advice, and she will do the complete opposite. And it's like coming off as rude in a way, and I don't even want to come in anymore and be around her because it seems like it's useless. So.
Oh, well, I definitely don't like that. I mean, you're one of my star employees, and that's why I had asked you to work with her. And it makes me very sad to know that. Have you talked to her about it? Have you confronted her about the issues at hand?
A little bit. More of like, after the fact, if she doesn't do what I had asked her to do or gave her advice to do, I'd ask her why, and then she just will say things like, well, I thought this would be better, or, things like that. But I'm like, well, what am I here for then, if you're not even going to do anything that I'm suggesting.
Right. Do you feel that she's, like, you guys didn't create a good rapport, or is it more just she wants to do her thing and is resistant to learning from you?
Maybe a little of both.
Okay.
I think we did jump in really fast without, engaging a lot at the beginning because, all the work had to be done, so it was kind of like we got to know each other really fast and then had to start working.
Sure.
So maybe a little bit was that she doesn't really know me that well. I don't feel like I know her, except for that she wants to do what she wants to do and won't change her mind.
Right. Well, that's definitely not fair to you, especially because I asked you to do a job, and apparently she's not as open to what I asked you to do. So what I think we could do on that situation is maybe sit down together and kind of, with all three of us, have a conversation about the expectations of training and kind of see if we can work out a plan that will work for all of you guys. Hopefully that way it'll help.
That might be helpful. I just feel like she doesn't really respect what I have to say, or like, I guess my authority, because I kind of am her supervisor in a way, and I don't feel like she respects me.
Okay.
So, and maybe I could work on something too to help with that relationship, but I'm not sure what to do, so.
Well, maybe during that meeting we'll do a couple team bonding experiences so that maybe being able to sit down and talk to each other and kind of get a little bonding going on might help that relationship and help open up responsiveness. However, after that meeting, if things still aren't working well, we can always try to figure something out. But this is definitely, if it's something that you're interested in doing, I don't want to negatively impact your feelings of not wanting to come in. I love the work that you do. You do an amazing job, and I don't want to negatively affect your work or how you feel about work by keeping you with her. So it's completely if it's something that you're willing to do.
I think the meeting would be good.
Okay.
Also, maybe for you to see what's going on, because you're kind of like the third party that might pick up on something that I'm not seeing.
For sure.
So if we can figure that out, that would be great. And then go from there. Maybe she would do better with someone else, but we can,
right.
see how it goes.
Okay, perfect. Why don't we plan on doing that maybe next week, or sooner? I mean, if you feel that this is something that we should probably do sooner just because of everything that's been going on, I'm more than willing to rearrange my schedule a little bit so we can get you guys in here and try to get you back on track. Because, like I said, I definitely don't want this to be something that makes you not want to come to work. That is not my intention at all, and I want to make sure that it works out for you, because it frustrates me to know that you're frustrated with this situation. So we can definitely rearrange the schedule a little bit. Okay? All right. Now, before we leave, make sure to, remind me, and we'll write that down.
I can bring my calendar at the end of the day, and we can figure something out.
That sounds good, and then we'll figure out what works out best for that. So the other issue then, how did the transition go with your infamous client that we have going on right now?
So I transitioned her to a different social worker, which seemed to go really well, and it was fine. We ended our client-patient relationship there. But just this last week, I met her with my boyfriend, her brother. So she kind of realized that we're dating, and she was not happy about that.
Okay.
So at this point, she talked to me that day and was like telling me she didn't want me to date him, and that she doesn't want me to tell him anything that we talked about, and she's just really upset about it. And I don't want her to be upset or hurt. But at the same time, we'd only met like 2 times, and we engaged. We weren't really engaging anyway, I don't feel like she really even gave me much information, but and I don't know how it would be super relevant to her brother, but I don't want her to feel uncomfortable in any way.
Yeah, and I completely understand that, and during the transition, I know that we had debated last time about whether you were going to talk to her about that relationship or not, and we kind of settled on just kind of, because of the fact that you guys didn't engage, to not really bring it up, and I take it that we didn't discuss that with her during the transition. Correct? Okay. So when she met you through her brother as your boyfriend outside of the office, obviously that created a little bit of anger, and for that I apologize. As your supervisor, I probably should have pushed a little bit more to have that conversation while you were here, just so that she understood that not only were you transferring her to a different therapist because of the fact that you guys were engaging, but it was also because of that additional dual relationship and how you didn't want to negatively impact her. So I apologize for my behalf on that. Now we have to move forward, obviously, because you obviously really like this man, and you don't want to hurt her. So let's think of some things that we could do to maybe help her feel more comfortable with the fact that you guys are no longer in a therapeutic relationship, but you want to have that outside personal relationship. What are some thoughts on that?
Well, I think I really wanted to know that everything she has said is still confidential, like that doesn't change. So, I don't know how I should talk to her about that, because, do you think that meeting with her outside of the office or in the office would be better? It's totally difficult on that behalf. Honestly, in some ways, you want to make sure that if you are going to have this relationship, that you want to do it outside of work, just so that you don't have that therapeutic type setting to confuse her more. So in this case, she's no longer your client, and you want to kind of establish that personal relationship with her and not that therapeutic relationship, because you closed those doors. So maybe outside would probably be more beneficial, because then you could start establishing that type of relationship outside of these doors, so that she doesn't have that same context. So thoughts on what you might say to her that make her feel better about this situation? Well, maybe we could meet for coffee or something, because that would be more of a personal thing. But also hopefully I don't want her to feel threatened or anything, because I was her therapist. So I think definitely establishing that I keep confidentiality even after our client therapist relationship has ended. I'm not sharing anything with her brother or other family members, and I won't even tell them that I knew her ahead of time if that's what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
If she wants to tell them, that's fine, but I will not say anything, I guess.
Okay.
And I guess I do want to explain to her that I didn't know that this, situation was happening until recently.
Right.
So, and I was not doing that on purpose.
Right.
So, I don't know. Do you have any other ideas?
Yeah, the dual relationship is very hard. So when you're talking to her, of course, you definitely want to explain, your story, but you want to get some of hers too, and definitely be compassionate to the reasons why she doesn't want you to have a relationship with her brother, because there could be underlying reasons. Because you used to be her therapist, but there could be other things that maybe you guys could work through as you establish a relationship.
Yeah.
Outside of the office, but definitely reinforcing the fact that you're no longer her therapist. Definitely clarifying with her that you didn't do this intentionally. The two different worlds were not meant to collide, and somehow they managed to. Making sure that you're ensuring her confidentiality. And respect for her privacy, especially with her family, is very strong. But yeah, it's a tough situation, and I think it's gonna be a little uphill battle for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as that goes, I would definitely do what you had planned on with the coffee. That sounds like it'd be good because it's out of the office, setting a different context. But I'd like to kind of follow up on this because she still is a client within our office, and at this point, I don't want her to feel that she is getting subpar service because of the history that you guys have. So I want to make sure that she feels safe still being in our office and working with our agency as well.
Mm-hmm.
I respect the fact that she wants to transfer out of the agency, so that's an option that she could always come talk to me about as well. If she feels that, she just can't be here, we can make that opportunity for her as well.
Okay.
And get her transition to somewhere that makes her feel comfortable. So how does that sound?
Okay, I guess take it one step at a time. I'll try meeting with her this coming week and discussing all that. I'm getting back to you, so.
Okay. Yeah, I would
I'll let you know
definitely
how it
like to
goes.
talk. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we need to talk about it just to make sure that she knows that she's our client here at the agency, and I just want to make sure this all works out for her.
And I want to be completely honest with you because I don't want anything unethical to happen, or because this already is an ethical dilemma, and I just want to make sure that I'm dealing with it the right way. So.
And I thank you for that. And I definitely want to be able to be here for you as well. Like I said before, you are one of my strongest social workers here at the agency right now. You do an amazing job. I want to make sure that you continue to do that amazing job, and I want to be able to support you in that process. So, but get your agenda out, and we will go ahead and figure out what we're going to do from there.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you later today then.
Mm-hmm.